Hey everybody, Hollywood Jeff, StartRacingD17.com, and today we're going to go over how I clean my air filter. I've had a couple people, my buddies, ask me, Jeff, how do you clean your air filter? What do you do? And we're going to go over that. I clean my air filter. I try to do this the most inexpensive way possible. I don't want to waste money on air filter products, oil sprays, blah, 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 blah. Try to make this as cost effective as possible. So I'm going to show you what I use, how I do it, and that's it. Hopefully this saves you some money and you can do this too. And so let's start. You need a couple things. First thing, this right here, paint thinner. I've been using this forever. If you have a little bit more money, you can get odorless mineral spirits, so it's not as strong to your nose, but this works great. A little bucket from Ace Hardware, because I'm sponsored. Filter oil, I use Bel-Ray filter oil. It's fantastic. I have no problems with it. That's why I use it. Not to say other brands are bad. This is just good stuff. I like it. It works. Catch pan, gloves, and your favorite t-shirt. I love Justin Bieber. So we're gonna get started to go through all the processes and enjoy. All right. So this is my air filter. It's got about a couple races on, 2 races on it, and it's pretty. For me, it's pretty nasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it cleaned. So the first thing I've done is I've taken my paint thinner, or mineral spirits, or your environmental spirits, and went ahead and dumped it into my bucket. And this first step is what you're doing is you're just getting all the oil out of your filter. You want to get all the oil out. It's not gonna look perfect when you're done, but you're trying to get all the oil residue out of it. And here we go. What I do is I just kind of get into a ball, wad it into a ball with my hands, and squeeze. I don't twist. I just squeeze it up. Drop it back in. I massage the filter. All you're trying to do is just get the oil out. You know, the water. My water is going to turn blue because that's what color my filter oil is. And you can see right now, there's pretty much most of the sand. That's the air filter got it trapped in there. And we're just going to go ahead and clean this up. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing it out until I get all the oil out of it, okay? I'm gonna zoom in here. All right. So I'm trying to get all of the filter oil out of the filter. That's what this step is. And again, I'm just soaking it in there, and then I'm taking it, and then I'm squeezing it until I can get all the last little droplets out. And this doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get a majority of it out. And so there you go. Pretty much all the oil is out of it, and it's pretty much what left is now is just the dirt. From here, we're gonna go to the next step, which involves just dishwasher soap and water. Alrighty, so this is the next step. We got all the oil out. Now I just want to get all the sand and all the junk out of it, and all the dirt, whatever, so the filter is clean and ready to go. So this is pretty simple. Cold water, not hot water, and some soap. Anything, whatever your brand is, it don't matter. This is just to clean dishes with. Before. And that's just one little rinse. I just rinsed that out once. I mean, that's just one thing, got all the dirt out. So, what I do is I just, I massage it while it's in here with the soap and water, and then I rinse it out over on the side. Just keeps the sand and stuff from recirculating, you know, back into your filter. But, you know, turn it inside out, whatever you want to do, and just massage it. The reason why we use cold water and not warm water is, you know, there is glue on this filter. And just like anything that has glue in it, if you heat it up, get it really warm, the glue can become soft and you could actually pull it apart maybe. But better be safe than sorry, you know? I have been doing it this way since I've had a dirt bike for 4 years now, and have never ever had a filter go bad on me. So again, just massaging it, squeezing it, and when I'm squeezing it out, I'm looking to make sure there's no little oil that comes out of it. And I'm going to do it again. And that's it. Dump my bucket. And then last part, just to get the soap out, I go ahead and just rinse it with cold water. Then when I'm rinsing it, the last thing I do is just to make sure I got all the oil out. Just I push it into a ball, water into a ball, and then just squeeze and just make sure that's just water rinsing out. And there you go. I mean, that's it. So that gallon of mineral spirits cost me $10. Water's water, soap's soap. Do it 100 times. The filter is still, it's nice and soft. You know, the chemicals we used weren't harsh. And it saves you from buying filter cleaner and all that stuff all the time. And then what I do is if it's nice out, I'll set this out in the sun and let it dry. Sometimes I'll set it on top of my dehumidifier, which blows hot air. Let it dry it out if I need to do it quickly. And that's it, you know. And this is the finished product. So this air filter right here has been clean. I have it ready to go. This one I've had for 2 years, and it's still great. You know, this is like, you know, it's going to kind of go back and forth between the two. So hopefully this helps you out. And you know, that's the whole purpose, is we want to help you guys out. So make things easier. And now we'll get it dry. We'll go ahead and oil it. All right. So, alrighty. So we got everything. Everything's dry. This is obviously that filter I already had dry. That's why it's dry. So last step is to get this thing oiled. Pair of gloves, or else you're gonna have a mess on your hands. Filter oil, filter, and a little drain pan. So, as simple as it sounds, we just go ahead and make sure you guys can see everything. I just start pouring it on, little by little. Right-handed, make it easier, and just go like that, you know. And now, as you start to get this thing coated, what I do, again, I wad it up into a ball, and I squeeze, and I try to get all the little excess oil off. And as you do that, it'll start applying it to the other areas. And I'm constantly massaging the thing. And again, I'll go ahead and I'll wad into a ball and just squeeze all the oil. And you're trying to squeeze the oil out. You're trying to get it into every other spot that it needs. Of course, you want to not miss anything too as well. See all that extra oil that comes out on my hand? Just take it and wipe it back on there. You don't want to, try not to waste anything. It keeps costs down and everything else. And then you can start to look at the filter too and see dark spot means there's a lot of oil there. You want to get rid of all that excess oil. That's what we're trying to do. But you don't want to leave anything unoiled at the same time. And then I will turn it inside out. Make sure everything underneath the lip and seal is oiled. And there you pretty much go. I mean, she's just about ready. Of course, there are some dark spots. So the last thing I do, grab a towel. See all that extra oil? We're not really gonna, there we go, put that back on a dry spot. We don't want that extra oil on there, it's just too much. So, I'll wad it up into a ball, put a clean towel on it. Ugh. There we go. Squeeze it, try to get a majority of that oil out. And then just do that a couple of times. And then when I squeeze it too, I'll do it two different ways. I'll turn it inside out as well. And then again, you're squeezing it, you're not twisting it. You don't want to twist it, you just want to squeeze it. And again, I've had this air filter, I've probably washed this thing 50 times, and this works for me, and it's inexpensive. So then I come around and you can still see there's still some oily spots. That's pretty much it. I mean, this, it doesn't have to be, perfect, but you don't want to have too much oil, and then you don't want to have enough. And I'm just wiping the excess off. Now, last thing I do, I'll put my cage back in here, let me grab it. Go ahead and clean this thing off. I'll put this back on here, and then what I do is I'll take filter oil and I will lay it on really thick around here, because this is what seats against your bike and is an important part. So I always lay it on pretty thick right here. The other thing too is where this meets up on the bike, I will put, I just use wheel bearing grease. Just take some grease and wipe it around the inside where this meets on the bike, and that just keeps it sealed. So that's pretty much it. All right, so last piece, which makes this oil filter changing, cleaning, cost effective, is when you're done, you pretty much are gonna dump out everything that's in here right back in your bottle. Again, mine's blue color now because that's what color the filter dye is from Bel-Ray. And just what I do. I just dump it all in there. Some of the sediments are, down in the bottom. But usually what I do is everything kind of settles in here, and settles in the bottom of the mineral spirits. And maybe before I pour it back into my bucket, I'll put like I'll put a t-shirt over it and then pour it in, and that gets most of the contaminants, but it's not too big of a deal. I also mentioned earlier about putting a little layer of grease where your filter houser meets. And if you guys don't have one of these wash boxes, man, these things are awesome. I keep this, I freaking power wash this, and it's really nice. I don't have to worry about nothing. But I take that just chassis, wheel bearing grease, chassis grease, and just a thin layer all the way around here, and that usually helps keep a really nice seal on the air filter box. And if you get a little bit in there, it's just grease. It's not gonna hurt nothing. So that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I hope this saves you a little bit of money, and you can spend money on other things like gas and $1,000 pieces and parts for your dirt bike. So take care. See ya.